The pen dragged like it was weighted with iron. A polished oak desk, a clean stack of documents, his grin practiced to perfection. "Go ahead," he said, as if he were offering kindness. The attorney beside me nudged my leg, a silent plea vibrating through the contact. "Don't agree. Push back." I gave a small nod, serene, almost detached, and signed my name wherever they pointed. He released a satisfied breath. That was the instant everyone decided I'd finally snapped. They couldn't see that the battle had ended long before that room. I met Adrian back when he asked for opinions instead of issuing commands, when his hands trembled with desire to prove himself rather than demand respect. That restlessness drew me in. I nurtured it. I stood beside him in a cramped leased office with buzzing lights and burnt coffee, helping him sketch out the bones of his first venture. He used to call me his ballast, the thing that kept him steady. I believed him. From the outside, our life looked flawless. A pristine home, gleaming cars, vacations captured in curated photos. A little boy who slept curled against my chest, his tiny breaths syncing with my pulse. Then achievement straightened Adrian's spine and hollowed his pauses. He stayed out late, carrying the scent of someone else's admiration. His phone never left his hand. My name disappeared from his mouth, replaced by a careless "hey," as if I were passing through his life instead of rooted in it. I've always seen patterns before evidence. The evidence arrived softly. A phone lighting up on the counter while steam fogged the bathroom mirror. A name I didn't know. A single line that branded itself into memory. "Soon it'll all be ours." I didn't shout. I didn't weep. I stored it away. When I faced him, he didn't lie. He rebranded the truth. Said he'd evolved past me. Said I was safe, not stimulating. Said separation was simply logical. Then he made his proposal. He wanted the house, the vehicles, every asset. He paused, pretending compassion, except our child. As if our son were an inconvenience to be left behind. Something inside me went quiet. Not shattered, honed. That night, he slept beside me like a visitor who'd already packed. I didn't plot vengeance. I mapped fairness. I contacted another attorney, not the one who thrived on courtroom noise, but the one who understood patience. We spoke in abstractions, foundations, allocations, beneficiaries, the unseen framework propping up visible riches. I handed Adrian exactly what he wanted on paper, shining properties paired with obligations disguised as benefits. Then I moved without ripples. Shares were reassigned through a trust created years earlier for financial efficiency, one he'd signed absentmindedly, because he trusted me then. Voting power shifted. Oversight changed hands. I named a successor. Not myself, but our son. I archived everything. Dates, messages, confirmations of betrayal. Not to parade in court, but to ensure compliance and quiet. I let the narrative form without correction. Friends murmured about my decline. Adrian basked in it. Men like him confused submission with ignorance. By the final session, he radiated triumph. New tailoring, new bravado, a new woman lingering somewhere beyond the doors. I sat opposite him, composed. My lawyer leaned in, murmuring about last chances. "No," I said evenly and signed. Adrian's smile stretched wide, the expression of someone convinced he'd claimed it all. Then his attorney bent close and whispered. A brief phrase. A pause. Adrian frowned. But that wasn't the fracture. The real break came when the lawyer stood and clarified. The trust, he explained, listed the child as primary beneficiary and holder of controlling interest, effective immediately. The room seemed to tilt. Adrian stared at me as if I'd switched languages mid-thought. "You gave me everything," he said hoarsely. "You signed." "I did," I answered. "You own it." I waited. "But you don't direct it." The truth crept over him, slow and unforgiving. The home he cherished, the status symbols he displayed, the enterprise he revered, all of it would one day answer to the child he dismissed. He finally looked at our son across the room, really looked, and understood who now stood ahead of him. I rose, smoothed my coat, untroubled. "Enjoy what you asked for," I said. "Take care of it. It belongs to our son." You're only borrowing the view. I didn't turn back. People ask if I feel remorse, if I wish I'd fought harder in the open. I don't. I prevailed without spectacle. I guarded what mattered. I let him keep his illusion because illusions are costly. When they collapse, they take everything with them. My son sleeps peacefully. So do I. Betrayal taught me what love never managed to explain. You don't need to shout to finish a war. You just need to choose the terrain wisely and leave after the victory is already yours.